If you want to grow on LinkedIn, having a routine that you do consistently is the most important thing to get growth in that platform. And when you grow on LinkedIn, you can achieve all your business goals, get the job you want, get the clients you want, whatever it is you're looking to do. LinkedIn is a fantastic place to grow and make money. But you have to do the right things and do them consistently. Luckily, you don't have to spend a ton of time doing this. I'm going to share with you my exact 15-minute a day routine that does all the things that you have to be doing to achieve growth. So we're here into Supergrow. This is the software that we have built to help make growing on LinkedIn way easier and do so in less time. But all of the things I'm going to do, you could do manually. So if you don't want to try Supergrow, that's okay. You can try it out for free. But if you want to do this all yourself, you could do it completely for free with things like Google Sheets, which is going to take you a lot more time. So the first thing that I like to do is I want to achieve a few different things within my daily routine. First thing is I want to create some content. I want to post at least once a day. I then want to engage on LinkedIn in a strategic way, and we'll talk about that and show you the tool that we've built to make that really easy. And then I want to look at my analytics. I want to see if anything is working that I've done in the past. Maybe I should double down on that and just see if I can get some good learnings from looking at my data. So let's first start off with writing a post. We have a ton of tools built into Supergrow to make that really easy. So the first thing I usually start with is an idea generator. I keep a running list in my phone of topics that I want to talk about. And so then I refer back to that, look through that, see if there's anything that I want to make some content on. Let's say I really want to talk about the value of podcasting, because that's something I've been thinking about a lot. As more and more AI content is created, the value of a podcast only goes up in my mind. So we're going to put this into the idea generator. You don't need to put in too much, just a topic or an industry, and then we'll work from there. And the benefit of this tool in particular is that we're using the latest news to generate ideas. So it's not just super generic stuff. It's based on what's working and what's working now. So I'll click generate ideas. It's going to pop up a bunch of different options for me. As you can see, this one's talking about the financial angle, how podcast advertising is evolving, English language dominance in podcasting, breaking down podcast monetization, global podcast market growth trends, understanding the steady CAGR of 11.6. So we'll go with this one. So I can click generate a post from this idea, or I could save it for later. I'll go with this one for right now. That'll bring us into the post generating tool. And so this takes the loose idea that we're going to talk about. I can then choose the tone of voice here. I'll go with encouraging or convincing. We'll go with convincing. And then we have post formats and content style. So for post format, these are just proven formats that have worked on LinkedIn. If you go on LinkedIn, you're going to see that people are posting very similar kinds of content because it works. People resonate with it. You just swap the variables for your specific post or your specific situation, and it often does well. So we have a bunch of those built in here. So you can see there's some for learning and insights, practical tips, debunking myths, etc. There's so many built in here. And you can also come up with your own. So if you come up with your own format, or if you've seen something on, say, Twitter or LinkedIn that really worked well, you could come in here, create that post format, and then go back to using it again and again. So I'm going to go with practical tips. I'll go with this one right here. I remember personal story, blah, 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 blah. I'll use the post format. Cool. And the other thing I want to show here too is that we also have the ability to do a content style. So this is a recent feature that we've added in. You can train a custom writing style to sound like whoever you want it to sound like. So let's say you have a favorite creator that makes a certain kind of content and you want to post a piece like that. You can actually train Supergrow to write just like that person. So if you click this and you've made the writing style, you could just select it. So this is Dan Coe, one of my favorite writers, and I could go forward and it would sound and write like Dan Coe because I trained it on Dan Coe's writing. Really easy to do. All you have to do is click add a new style. You go in and you put in some content that they've done, at least 10 posts, and then from there it can work together to make a writing style for you, which is awesome. But I'm going to go with the post format and then click generate. From here, it's then going to go to work and write the post for me. As you can see, it's splat out something pretty awesome, and it's always formatted for LinkedIn. The value of using a purpose-built tool like Supergrow is that everything that we've done, every decision that we make is specific to LinkedIn. And so if your goal is to grow there's no better place to be creating content or better tool than Supergrow because every decision was made with that in mind. So as you can see right here, it's written with a great hook. I remember doubting if podcasting was worth my time. I was so skeptical and thought to myself, who even listens to podcasts anymore? But then I saw the numbers. 20.67 billion in 2024, growing to 53.29 billion by 2033, right? So this is a great post I could work from, but I don't recommend just leaving this as it is. Supergrow can save you 95% of your time, but most of the returns are going to come from that 5% extra. And so with these tools, we can still maintain that 15 minutes a day routine, but make some great content. So I would work from this. If I'm happy with all this, I would just simply go through and spend 5 minutes. So I've only spent 5 minutes to get here. I would spend 5 more minutes going through this and actually making this me. So I would go through this and I would see, does this sound like how I talk? The benefit is you could use your own voice for content style if you wanted to make it sound like you or how you write. But I would go through this quickly and be like, do I like this? Do I like how this sounds? Is this a personal story of mine? What could I throw in here? This does so much of the work because one of the hardest things is getting an idea in the first place and then formatting that idea into a post that is easy to consume. This does all that for you. All that you have to do is do that 5% of tweaking to make it really sound like you. And the big opportunity in doing this is that most of the content you're seeing on LinkedIn, they're just getting here. They're getting to this point and they don't spend the extra 5 or 10 minutes refining this to add in their own extra sauce. If you're posting about something that you're an expert in, chances are you're going to know this stuff even more than AI would. So you can come in here and add specific things that will put it over the top, make it sound like you, and really show that you're an expert. And it will also read more like a person. I strongly recommend as you come through here, reading it out loud. And if it sounds really weird when you say it out loud, you should probably adjust it so that it sounds more like you and how you talk. So I would go through and do that. If you want to refine it with AI, you can click this. You can make adjustments from here, or what you can do is save this post for later. You can edit this post manually. You can generate a carousel from this post too. It's another huge bonus to Supergrow is that we have the ability to actually turn this into different templates that already look awesome. So you could take the subject matter of the post and turn it into a carousel. Carousels do quite well on LinkedIn because they're a little more immersive. It breaks it up a lot more. When you just see huge bunches of text, like I'll show you, let's go to LinkedIn. I'll show you what I'm saying here. When there's just really long text, it's pretty intimidating. So let's try to find a long text post. Like that's just a lot to read. The average person's just not going to do that. But if it was in a carousel where they could just slide through it, they're far more likely to consume it because it's more in right here, right? You can get the same basic information, but it's far more immersive because the visuals are there, and it's less intimidating because it's broken up into chunks. So a lot of people, myself included, post too many things like this that should probably be broken down either into videos or into carousels. And we have tools in Supergrow to make that really easy. So that's an option there too. If you're not getting growth and you're posting really long written pieces of content, try breaking it up, making it more immersive, making it more engaging by making it either a carousel or making videos for it too. So let's say I want to make it a carousel. I would just click generate carousel, and then it's now going to take the idea that I had and turn it into a carousel post. So once you've refined it further, you can then make it into a carousel, or you can post it as a text if that's what you want. So as you can see right here, it turned it into a carousel. That's a lot easier to consume. You can adjust this and customize it further. You can also set up your default brand colors so that it looks like your brand every single time, which is nice. From this point, I would refine this post down, either post it as a text or a carousel, and then I could schedule it out to go live. So I could go to continue, and then I could download the images, attach this to a carousel post, add a title, and then I could schedule this to go live all from Supergrow. And I could have achieved this in less than 10 minutes due to the post generator, the idea generator, and then this carousel generator. So I went from having no idea to having a solid thought for a piece of content, refining it into a visual carousel, and then actually scheduling this out to go live in like 10 minutes. Okay, so that's how you can do this. Ideas are solved through the idea generator tool. Post generator tool is fantastic too. You can start from scratch. You can just talk to it. So you could brain dump a thought, work from there. You can generate from a PDF, from a YouTube video, an article. So many tools built in here to make content easy, which is the whole point. That's why we're going to keep this under 15 minutes a day. And the idea generator here is something I use literally every single day. So there's that. That's great. I love the voice notes too. You can just come in here and talk to it. And that's great. So this is how I would create a content. This is where I'd spend the first 10 minutes of my 15-minute a day routine. And then the next thing I would go into is the engage section. And this is where I recommend spending a ton of time being consistent with this. Because if you have no following on LinkedIn, you can post great content for a very long time. And it's going to be hard to break through. You can cut down the time that you need to grow and achieve your goals by engaging strategically. Even if you have no audience, you can still interact and engage with people on LinkedIn. So what you want to do with an engage tool is to create a list aligned with your goals. So if your goal is audience growth, you should create a list of the people who already have your audience or the people that are your audience, or both. And so there should be a list of either niche creators that are in the same creator as you, and then another one could be my target audience. And you want to add in accounts to this list that fit that profile, and then go in consistently every single day and engage with their content in a real and authentic way. Luckily, Supergrow makes that very easy by first having this list tool in the first place. So you can just create a new list. I'll show you what that looks like. You can name it. So let's say like my ideal audience. And as you go through LinkedIn and you find people that are interacting with, say, people who are similar to you that already have the audience, you can add their profile here so that you can start interacting with their content too, which helps you build that relationship. So let me just show you how this would look. So I have this niche creators one. This is people who are attracting a similar audience to mine, so entrepreneurs, creators, etc. And so I have a list of 20 people who already have the audience I'm trying to attract. So every single day I can just come in here, see what they've posted over the last few days, and interact with it in a real and authentic way. And we also have tools built into here to make the writing of the comments faster. So I'll show you those. Here's the posts. I can refine it to the last day. I'll do that. I'll make it all today. And then I can come in here, I can like the post, I can see the whole post, and then I can also use AI to write my comment too. So what I can do right here is click this. I can pick the tone for this. I can give it a custom prompt, or I can say I want to be funny, agree, and then if you want specific instructions, you could add it here and then click generate comments. From here, it's going to populate a quick comment. Again, this is giving you that 95%. Spend the extra bit of time, the minute, to make it 5% better to bring it to that 100. So let's go here. Right here, and then from here we can refine it further and make it sound like an awesome comment. I strongly recommend making this sound like a human being. So spend an extra 30 seconds, add in some of your own flavor, your personality to make this really sound like you. Because for example, desire over data any day. Who knew feelings could be the secret sauce to branding success? Count me in for simply branding. Like that sounds like a bot, right? But if you refine that a little further, make it sound a little more like a human, you can now have a comment that you didn't have to think too much for, and you did it in seconds rather than minutes. So that's really the benefit here, is saving you a bunch of time. And I could have made this a far better response had I refined things further. I just did it for the sake of this exercise. So play around with this, save yourself some time, but spend that extra few seconds to make it sound like you. And also make these lists align with your goals. So the example that I gave was someone who was looking to grow on LinkedIn from an audience perspective, to either go to who already has your audience or who you want to become your audience. The other thing too is that if you're looking for a job, it's a fantastic idea to create a list of the hiring managers that hire for the roles that you want. Building a relationship with them is the ultimate hack to show people that you are a safe bet and that you are worth giving an opportunity. So if you were to go create a list either in here using Supergrow, which you can try for free, or using something like a Google Sheet, have a list of the hiring manager, the company they work for, the jobs they've hired, etc., and then have a link to their LinkedIn profile so that every single day you can go in and see if they've posted something and engage with it authentically to start building that relationship, showing that you know what you're talking about and showing that you're consistent. As someone who hires people, being proactive and consistent is one of the biggest things that I look for, because you can basically teach anything else. Of course, you being an expert helps, and you should be showing that through your content. But in terms of just showing up consistently and building that relationship, it's hard to stress how important that really is. So 3 biggest things that I see here is 4, I guess, actually. People that you want to connect with. If there's people you really want to network with, make a list of that. People who already have the audience that you want, make a list of that. People who are the audience that you want if you're looking to grow. And then the biggest one, if you're looking for a job, is hiring managers, the people that can give you what you want. So I would spend an extra few minutes here every single day interacting with content. And then the last piece of my daily routine is looking at my analytics. So I would spend just a minute or 2 in here looking over how things have gone. I can adjust this to the last month and put that on. And so I can see I've grown 67 followers over the last month, gained 9 connections, etc. As you can see, the reactions have grown, the comments here as well. As you can see, I can look at all of my analytics for a specific time period in one place. This is just going to populate with all my content. And then I can come and see, is there something I've been trying that's worked better? Is there something that's not working as well? And I can adjust my strategy here very quickly at a glance. The benefit to Supergrow's analytics versus other analytics tools is that how we source the analytics, there will never be drop-offs in your data. You're going to get consistent data from this so that you can make better decisions with all the content that you're creating. So you can see at a glance the number of followers I have, the connections that I have, and then it's broken down into sections in terms of my growth, the reactions and engagement, the people who are commenting, and then here's the specific posts. So this is really helpful to come in and look at this and say, maybe I've been trying with different formats. Maybe I posted a carousel post and I want to come in and see, did that do better? Did that do worse, etc. I can come in and see the reactions, the comments, how many reposts it got, and then use that to help me make better decisions when I come back tomorrow and make my next piece of content. So this is what I do with if I have 15 minutes a day to grow on LinkedIn. You can do it either like this, if let's say you have 15 minutes a day, or if you have a lot of time, at one time, you can come in here and spend more time in each section and do it once a week and still be posting every single day. But this is a 15-minute LinkedIn routine that is achievable for anyone. Supergrow will make it way faster and a lot less painful, but you could do all of this manually with something like a Google Sheets if you really wanted to. If your goal is to grow on LinkedIn, I strongly recommend trying out Supergrow. You can do so completely for free by using that link down below. And on this channel, I post videos to help you grow on LinkedIn, get the job that you want, or achieve whatever it is you're looking to do on LinkedIn. So definitely click subscribe. And for whatever you want on LinkedIn, I can't stress how important it is to have an optimized profile to make sure people know exactly how they can help you. In this video right here, I'll walk through exactly how you can optimize your profile to increase the chances of getting whatever it is you want. I'll see you in the next one, and I'll see you over on LinkedIn.